Top 5 players under the age of 25. Start at 5. Who's
my number 5?
Number 5.
I'm being serious when I say this, even though I'm smiling. Jordan.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew. I'm gonna let Lamont and Cam go before I get on your ass. Because I knew you were gonna say that.
My one actual Wizards bias aside argument for that is he was the second best player on a championship team.
Time out. Woo! Cam, Lamont, I'm gonna let you get in here, but I gotta address my boy. On what team was Jordan Poole the second best player? Please tell me what team that was on.
The playoff run. Look at this ass.
Are we going?
Somebody please go before I lose it. Jordan Poole, so he was better than Andrew Wiggins in that playoff run.
Yes.
What? Lamont
he even said it.
Lamont, who's top 5 under 25?
No, sir. Hold on.
Thank you for being here. Like I said, the NBA is back. I'm excited. So, we're going to jump right into it. You got Victor Wembenyama, right? Best prospect since LeBron, so they say. Debut game against the Mavericks, 15 points, 6 of 9 from the field, hit a couple threes, got a block. What are you guys thinking? What do you think Victor Wembenyama is going to be? What does his ceiling look like to you?
I'll start because you already know how we come in.
Go Spurs, go!
So, obviously, I'm a Spurs fan, and I try to be as objective as possible. But looking from what he looked like in Summer League to now, the comfort level is totally different. Like, Summer League, he was frantic. Like, he was trying to play the way he was overseas with younger players and trying to play in the post more versus now he's playing a little bit more like a wing. So he looks way more comfortable in the pick and pops. He's getting to his spots, and it doesn't seem like he's trying to force anything. He knows, especially even with Lively on him last night, with his height, he can shoot over anybody. So he's
don't even see him.
Short corner spots, his spot up threes, the pick and pops and all that. So, it's hard to say what his potential is, but
it's looking good.
And if he can put on some weight, is going to be scary because it's not something. There's never been somebody at this height being able to move this fluid before. So I don't know. I'm just happy he's on our team, man.
I feel that. Do you think okay, so this is my issue with Wembenyama is being in the Spurs system. Greg Popovich isn't going to be on some ISO him to the side, let him do his thing. You know what I mean? He's going to really run a system type thing. Do you think that that's good for him at his young age, or do you think that'll actually kind of hold him back? Like he won't be able to really show maybe what he can do?
So I think that's a super outdated narrative, actually. Because for what it's worth, most people don't watch the Spurs, right? We haven't been consistently on national television really since 2016-ish. And if you watch, because most people know the Big Three, the OG Big Three, and what we ran then was, yes, very much a system. But Pop, I will give him absolute credit. He has been able to shift the way he coaches the team. So, if y'all remember, there was the issue when we got LaMarcus Aldridge, and it was his second or third year in. He felt like he wasn't being utilized. He was about to ask for a trade and all that stuff. And Pop had to sit down with him. And if you watch the way we used him and Kawhi, Kawhi ISO'd a lot.
That's a good point. He did. Kawhi did get a lot of ISOs, actually.
LaMarcus got a lot of feeds in the post and stuff like that. And even if you watch the game from last night, it's much more fluid. There's a lot more motion with it, right? Wemby, there's still the system piece because there's a lot of guys there's a lot of off-ball action and stuff like that. But there was plenty of plays where Wemby was, in a standard pop, pick and roll, pick and pop, just like the normal most NBA teams run. There was some where he ran off double screens around the blocks and he came around for a short corner jumper. So it's gonna be a system. It's gonna be sets more so than what most people think the Spurs have run in the past. But he's gonna get his looks. In the preseason, he's taken anywhere from 13 to 17 shots a game. Granted, Keldon, Vassell, and all the guys went on the floor at the same time. But he's going to get his looks. And so I think, he'll be, with his height, he'll be able to be efficient enough to where he's going to put up big numbers. I mean, even last night getting, like 23 minutes, I think, with 5 fouls. He was still 6 for 9, got 15. So, he'll have the shots.
So, Lamont, I'm curious here because when I watched the game last night, one thing that stood out to me was he seems, and again, I don't want to get super critical of him first game. Obviously, he's got to get his feeling right. But something that stood out to me was he likes to hang around that three-point line. He's real comfortable with that three-point line. He seems like he wants to get a lot of them up. Do you think that maybe his, desire to play kind of like this KD-style basketball, do you think that could be like a detriment, or do you think he's just still filling his way out?
Personally, for me, I think it can be both. Considering the fact that how, the way today's NBA is played, I mean, the game is, 3-pointers. All the notice here. But at the same time, I mean, this is his very first NBA game too, so it's always a thing of him still getting his footing, still getting his rhythm, finding his hot spots and all of those things. So I think he'll be fine. I do think he is getting adjusted to how things are played because, of course, over there in France, he's dominating everybody. You know what I mean? Easily. So now I'm not saying that the NBA isn't more competitive, which obviously it is because, there's more talent. But almost everybody plays, a similar style. Like it's either you can hit the 3-point shot or you can't.
Facts.
And with them already being, so much hype around Victor, and then also with him being able to hit the tray ball too. Come on now.
I kind of actually want to get into that hype, and Max, I kind of want to hear from you here. So the player they compared him to as a prospect is LeBron. Obviously, they don't have exactly the same play styles, but just the greatness that is inspected from them, he's been compared to LeBron as a prospect. I want to know, do you think that his teammates, do you think that builds any sort of resentment? Because someone like Vessel, right? He's a quality up-and-coming player. He had 20-something points last night. He was really their go-to offensive scorer. Do you think that builds a little resentment from his teammates who are kind of thinking like, we're here too. Like, this isn't the Wembenyama show. Do you think that could potentially interrupt his development at all? And also, I want to hear a little bit. Do you think – I've heard a lot of chatter about him potentially winning Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. What do you think about that?
So if he was on another team, maybe. But Pop, he's not going to let the locker room sour, regardless of the situation for the most part. He's going to be there. He's going to temper, everyone's mental – their mental – and – I don't see anyone having bad blood because of that or being think they're being overlooked. Why is everyone talking about this guy? I'm the one that just dropped 25 or whatever his score, that insert person's there scoreline is. I think with Pop, having been, Pop dealt with Admiral, he dealt with Duncan, all them, he dealt with Kawhi. He knows how to manage attitude. So I think he's going to be able to help him from that aspect. And when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie, I don't see it. I know he's really good defensively, but there's already so many stud defenders in this league. And you think he's going to have a better season defensively than as a rookie than some of these guys that are already some playing in themselves. The Giannis, Jaren Jackson Jr., if healthy, Paul George. I just don't see it.
Okay. I like it. I do think, as far as Defensive Player of the Year, I do think he has a chance. I watched Kyrie do a size-up sidestep, and he blocked one, but the second one is really what caught my attention. Watching Kyrie pump fake and pass out of a shot, mid-shot, says something to me. Someone that quality of an offensive player was his length, his reach is really that disturbing to my shot already, and he doesn't even really have his timing and conditioning up to the standards it's going to be by mid-season. I think he has a chance. I do think he has a chance at Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to average almost 3 blocks a game. Easy.
That's fair, but with that said, the elite players like Kyrie, after playing him a few times, they'll adjust and then they'll know what to look for the next time. So maybe he won't be able to continue this the entire time because right now the players are playing him for the first time and they're holy hell, how do I handle this? But come 30 games down the road, is he still going to be doing this because everyone's going to have tape and knowledge on him?
Okay. I will say that. I'm already on the record. Check out my other videos. I might have gone a little overboard comparing Victor Wembenyama to Darko Milicic and Alex Len, but I might have gone a little bit overboard there. But again, I'm just very much so. I've seen it before. I've seen the big hype around Greg Oden, around Kwame Brown, around Anthony Bennett. I've seen the hype not live up to it before. But after watching a couple like preseason and the first season game, the way he dribbles, the smoothness to his game already at his age is just it's undeniable.
Yeah. But you also have to keep in mind those guys that you mentioned outside of one of them, they all played college, right? He's been doing this against grown-ass men
for years
over in Europe.
Yeah.
In FIBA ball. Like
the Luka argument, kind of. You're right.
Yeah, like, and people said the same thing to Luka, like, oh, there's no way he's going to come in here. Like, and he did. And, like, yeah, so he's already, like, used to playing against people that are bigger, older, and stronger than him. So with that said, like, I would put him over already ahead of, like, the Anthony Bennett's coming in first game and the Odin's the first game.
I'm glad you mentioned who you would put him over with because that's kind of what I want to get into next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a player, right? I'm going to give you a player, and you're going to tell me if in his rookie season you think Wembenyama will become better than this player. First player up, LaMelo Ball. Will Wembenyama be better or worse than LaMelo Ball by the end of the year?
Are we comparing rookie season to rookie season?
No, we're comparing Wembenyama's rookie season to LaMelo currently.
No.
You think Wembenyama's going to be worse?
Yeah, I think LaMelo got hurt, kind of fell off, had a bad team around him, and everyone soured on him. I think Melo is one of the most underrated players in the NBA right now.
I think Wembenyama by the end of his season will be definitively better than LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo Ball is a bit overrated, honestly.
Ooh, overrated though?
Overrated.
I don't think LaMelo's overrated.
I don't think he's overrated.
I'm a LaMelo
I think.
fan.
Go ahead.
I think it's underrated.
I think a lot of people are holding on to them hoop mixtape days from when LaMelo was at Chino Hills. I don't think he's that good in the NBA. That's Brandon Miller's team, in my opinion.
Nah.
The Hornets say otherwise.
But
So tell me something. Is Victor going to be better or worse than LaMelo?
I think they'll be – I mean, it's hard to compare like a power forward center to a guard, but I think they'll be like neck and neck. As far as impact goes and what they mean to their team, like respectively, I don't think you could say LaMelo's worth more to the Hornets than Wemby would be to the Spurs. Because I think Wemby takes us from like out, not even in consideration, to potentially like play in tournament. Like,
you think the Spurs can make the play-in? I think that's a dream a little bit, but
I don't think that's.
I can see it.
We gotta be 10 seed to make the play-in tournament. That's very feasible. There's a lot of.
I'm curious. What are the teams you're finishing above?
Finishing above the Spurs?
You're not finishing.
No, the Spurs to get the 10 seed. Who are they finishing above?
Go ahead, Cam.
The Rockets. Hold on, I gotta look at all the teams to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Rockets for sure. They look god awful.
Oh yeah, the Rockets are terrible. Definitely fighting for the lottery.
Don't say the Thunder.
If it helps, think about who would drop out from last year.
Yeah, no. Rockets, Blazers, maybe the Jazz.
Ooh.
But none of those were playing teams last year.
Correct. But there's going to be a lot of shakeup too because there's been a lot of movement.
For sure. To me, the Thunder get better. Maybe the Wolves drop out. That's arguable.
I think the Wolves is a fringe one. Like I can see
that's a fringe.
The Wolves like kind of fighting for one of those last spots. That's 4
for sure.
After that, it's tough. But I mean, like we're right there at 10-11. Depending on like the Pelicans have a lot of like question mark. Like Zion, the Pelicans go as Zion goes. If Zion, right? Zion's having injury problems again. They could fall. If Zion's healthy, then I think they easily make the playoffs. But
for sure,
up like 10-11, like I think we're in contention with Wembenyama. We're in contention for.
You also got to keep in mind, I could be wrong, but didn't Dallas completely miss the playoffs last year? So that's another team you're going to be competing against.
Yeah,
Facts.
Dallas tanked. I'm not going to go into that, but Dallas tanked. They should have been in the playoffs.
They should have been in the playoffs.
Fair, but I'm saying, like this year, that's another team that they're going to have to.
They're going to probably have to fight off, right?
A full season of Kyrie and Luke on the same team, they're not missing the playoffs unless they're both hurt.
I don't know.
Lamont, I want to hear from you. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. Lamont, I want to hear from you. Better or worse by the end of the season, Wembenyama or LaMelo? Is he going to be better or worse than LaMelo?
So I'll be honest with you. I actually agree 1,000% with what Cam said. I mean, just because it's difficult to compare two different positions now.
That's fair.
If Wembenyama was a point guard, then, we can say maybe. But
I'll throw another name out for you. Bam Adebayo. Better or worse by the end of his rookie year? Him or Bam?
If his defense lives up to the hype, I'll say better.
Because Bam Adebayo, he can guard.
He can guard, exactly. He's a defensive player himself.
At least 2 through 5. I'll have to see more before I say Wembenyama will have a better season than current players.
If Wembenyama's defense holds up the entire season and lives up to the hype, I'll say he'll be better.
I think he'll be better than Bam by the end of the season. I think defensively they'll be close just because I think Bam is maybe like a better on-ball defender and Wembenyama is going to be more like a shot blocker. But offensively, if Wembenyama – offensively, it won't be close to me.
Oh, no.
Wembenyama can – I don't really see Bam as a person that creates his own shot. You know what I mean? He's kind of like a pick-and-pop type player. He'll get it off a lob. He'll get it off of, a screen and roll. Wembenyama can come down, pull up in your face type. You know what I mean?
Hey.
It's kind of crazy.
Victor got it, man. Victor got it, bro. I can't lie. Victor got it.
I had my doubts. I definitely had my doubts, but the smoothness to his game without he's just going to get better just playing in games. Just playing games, he's going to get better. So seeing the smoothness to his dribbling and pull-ups already, if he stays healthy, it could get scary. Last player I'm going to give you, I want you to tell me if he's going to be better or worse than this player by the end of the year. Karl Anthony Towns. I have such a – I don't want to say it because for some reason I feel like I have to like Cat because he had such a traumatic life or something during COVID and all that. But, I do not like Cat, man. I do not like his game. I'm not a huge fan. So I'm just going to go first, and I'm going to say I think Wemby is going to be better than him. By the end of the year, I think he'll be a better player than Cat. Maybe he might not have all the, requisite skills, but I think – if you're starting a team at the end of this year, you're definitely taking Wemby over Cat.
Cat shot 10 threes last night.
Yeah, that's
they both shoot a lot of threes. Cat shoot a lot of threes too.
I understand that, but Cat shot 10 threes. Only made 2. 2, right?
Yeah.
No,
for his career, Cat shoots about 35% from 3, which isn't great, but for a center, it's not bad either.
That's
not
pretty
bad.
good. But I'm gonna talk about last night. The leading rebounder for the Minnesota Timberwolves just so happens to be one of my personal favorite players, Anthony Edwards.
That guy's a dog. But in Cat's defense, Wemby only had 5 boards last night. It could have been foul trouble, but he did only have 5 boards at 7-4.
I mean, well, when you have 5 fouls at the end of a game, or just even playing with 5 fouls, it's hard for you to be aggressive because, especially with the way that the NBA officiating is now, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all know this. And for those who sports bet out here, we all know how this goes.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to NBA officiating, it's bad, horrible.
Whoa.
Like it is. My fault, Ken. My bad. I'm about to say we actually need you out there to
show them how it's done.
You know what I'm saying? Officiate some of these NBA games because this is horrible.
No,
I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm not gonna go down a rabbit hole, but that's so wrong. Anyone that says NBA officiating is terrible knows absolutely nothing about officiating. They are as good at what they do as the NBA players are at hooping. It's that simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to say a referee said no.
There you go, Cam. Show the refs some love. Refs be getting a lot of slander. Show them some love, Cam.
All right, so you mean to tell me that Vegas doesn't have a say-so in any of this? Okay.
You say what?
You mean to tell me that Vegas doesn't have a say-so in any of this?
No, I'm not a conspiracy.
We're not going down the rabbit hole, Mott. Not today. Not today. We're not going down the rabbit hole.
Not about Vegas.
So right quick, because we're gonna move on. I want to get into Philly. I want to get into James Harden and Joel Embiid. But right quick, just for whoever has an answer, by the end of the year, who's better, Wembenyama or Cat? I'm going Wemby.
I think I might stay with Cat. I think Cat's numbers are hindered a little bit because Rudy's in the fucking way. Mm-hmm. And
respectable,
but Cat's tough. Like he's a cornball, but Cat's you can't deny it. He can hoop.
He can hoop. I think he's already as good as he's ever going to be. I think is really what it is. I think he's already as good as he's ever going to be.
You've also been a known Cat hater for like 3 years now.
Don't expose me like that. I'm impartial over here. You feel me?
I knew your answer before you even said it.
I don't know. I think he's already the best version of Cat we've already seen it at this point.
You think Cat
it's Anthony Edwards
as a player?
Huh?
You think Cat peaked as a player already?
Already, yeah. I think we've already seen it.
All right, so let me ask you really quick. Do you think if he were to go to somewhere like, I'd say the Knicks, do you think he'll be an even better player then? Just because, that's a fresh start. He's back with Tom, Tom Thibodeau, all of those things.
I think
and then he won't have another player his position clogging up the lane.
Right.
You're going to have Julius Randle.
But then again, you got Julius Randle, though.
I guess in my head, if you're getting Cat, you're getting rid of Julius Randle. I guess is how I was thinking of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we're keeping Julius Randle, then yeah, it's a similar situation. If we're getting rid of Julius Randle, okay, I can see what you're saying. He would have more room to shine. I just think Cat thinks that he's like, I don't know. He thinks he's a guard for real. Like he I don't know. He doesn't take advantage. Like I'm cool with the shooting. I get the NBA's change, but you're 7 foot, man. You got to hit some post hooks. Like you got to get in the paint. Like Jokic, right? Embiid, they shoot threes, but at the end of the day, when they get on that block, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? You don't feel that way about Cat.
Porzingis. 10 threes last.
Porzingis was going crazy last night. But hey, we gonna transition. So I know you guys have heard James Harden. Typical Harden. He's throwing a fit. He's ready to go. He's ready to get out, ready to go somewhere. I heard he wants to go to LA. What do you guys think of that situation? Do you think they should fire Daryl Morey? Do you think they should trade James Harden? Do you think they should trade Joel Embiid? I want to hear from you guys. What do you think Philly should do? Because right now, James Harden showed up for camp. They told him to go home. They're playing the Bucks tonight. They said, we don't need you. So what do you guys think?
So, first of all, okay, I will put on record, I'm not a James Harden. I've never been. I respect how good he is, but I've never been a fan of James Harden. Okay. James Harden now has a track record, and I cannot sympathize for him at all. What he's gone from OKC to Houston, which that one was about money, and he's young, so that I can't fault him for that. And it's his first. Houston to Brooklyn, and he was trying to get
Harden.
He was trying to get Chris Paul up out of there to get Russ. Like didn't matter who he got, didn't work. Gets to Brooklyn, unhappy, not liking Kyrie with the whole.
Kyrie's a little to blame on that one though.
Right? Yeah. And then gets to Philly. Now he wants another trade. So we're requesting 3 trades in 2 years?
Yeah.
And I think now. So here's the thing about the reason why. Did y'all see the article that Woj just wrote like maybe 2 hours ago about
Enlighten me.
So you kind of touched on it, right? Where they said not to come to the road trip, right? Mm-hmm. So now the NBA is investigating to see if he's violating the player participation policy, like the new one that they put in this year, where you can only rest 1 star at a time, except if it's like they give exceptions for injury, personal matters, which that's what they're claiming Harden is for. And then some other like pre-approved like back-to-back stuff if it's like a LeBron situation or a player that's deep into their career and has a lot of miles, stuff like that. So apparently the Sixers kept him away because they're saying he's physically unfit to play or whatever, being that he's been away for so long. But they're investigating because we all know what he said about Daryl Morey.
For sure.
So I don't know. We'll see what comes of it. At this point, it's just like, dog, you made your bed, like, lie in it. At this point, so wherever he ends up, the Clippers have said they're gonna wait on trade talks for now, is what they said like in the article that Woj wrote. So I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. There's just going to be more drama around James Harden.
For sure. Lamont, Max, I want to hear from you. Something I want to throw in here. I have another video I kind of get into. I heard he wants to go to the Clippers. I said that I personally don't think that's a great idea. We've seen the Russ James Harden thing before in Houston. It didn't work. So I said, if you really want to go to LA, you feel me? Go to the Lakers. We trade you D'Lo, Hachi, Vanderbilt, and whatever picks the Lakers have in the next 5 years. You get James Harden and Daniel House. You get rid of James Harden if you're Philly. You get another point guard in D'Lo. You get some role players, and then the Lakers get James Harden. What do you guys think? Do you think they should trade him? Do you think Daryl Morey is really the problem, or do you think Joel Embiid should be like, I'm the star, I'm out of here?
Two things. One, if they do that Lakers trade, if I'm Embiid, I'm asking out immediately.
Mm-hmm. Respect.
I'm not staying with that. Props to Morey. He tries to deal with the hand he's given. Josh Harris, the owner, he's proven that he will spend money. He will do what he wants to win. But if I'm Embiid, after finally being healthy for all these years, winning my MVP,
should he leave anyway? Forget the trade. Should he leave anyway?
I think it depends. Because you got Tyrese Maxey, who's a stud. I love Tyrese Maxey. I think he can be something special down the road. You got Thibault, whose defense is great. I think it depends on the Harden trade. If you can get actual talent back, I'd stay. But if not, it's tough. I really think it does depend on the Harden trade and what's being offered.
What do you consider actual talent for James Harden? Because when the Lakers got D'Lo, I'm a Lakers fan. I don't love D'Lo, but I had so many people tell me D'Lo is amazing. D'Lo is so good. So what do you consider talent?
People were still holding on to Brooklyn Nets D'Lo, and it wasn't him anymore. I think that was
he made one All-Star game, and people just fell in love.
I think that was.
Though I will say, as a VCU Ram, D'Lo does still kind of give me nightmares. Boy. But shout out Breakout Weber, we would have locked that up if we was healthy. But anyways, I don't want to get down the rabbit hole, but we would have locked that up if we was healthy. Anyways, continue. I just wanted to shout that out. We got 3 Rams on here, so I just wanted to let them know Briante would have locked that up.
That's crazy, dude.
D'Lo still gives me nightmares. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead, Mon. Tell me something.
Yeah, go ahead, Lamont. No, go ahead. I made most of my point.
It's a tough situation. So I actually read something recently saying that the reason why he's also that way was because due to health issues with his mother as well.
I did hear that.
It's one of those things where it's just even as a person, where you want to be there, let's say you want a job, for whatever team you play for, you want to be there, but at the same time, you got real life stuff going on outside of that. So it's what really matters most. And as much as he has a bad rep for, requesting trades just because things may look as if, they're falling apart, I feel like this is a more severe situation. This is his family we're talking about here.
We talk about mom dukes.
Right.
Mom comes first.
This is the woman who brought him into the world, who's part of the reason why he's able to do what he do. So, of course, by all means, as a human being, you want him to tend to whatever family issues. And, of course, when he's ready to come back, by all means, you welcome him with open arms, depending on who you are. Now, I don't know what they're thinking, but if this was me, in this particular situation as Daryl Morey, I'm I know your mom's not feeling well. You go handle that situation. When you're ready to come back, that's fine. We'll welcome you with open arms. You know what I'm saying? Get you acquainted, all of those other things. So on one end, I can say, yeah, James Harden, you're supposed to be with the team, but as a human being, you gotta look out for moms, bro.
For sure. And I'm kind of with Cam in the sense of I'm not a huge James Harden guy. I do think that something about his mannerisms just trying to just give off selfishness to me. And again, if it's his mom's, then hey, respect for me. You got to take care of moms. But something about his vibe just kind of, I don't know. So,
I do what I want type feel from him.
For some reason, I just get that from him. But what I will say, and again, I dropped a video on this. It is kind of a principle that goes there because, and I explain it in my video kind of in layman's terms. Daryl Morey made him a promise to pay him a little extra on the back end because he took a cut on the front, and Daryl Morey's basically hit him with the shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? So of course, James Harden's not starving for money, but you kind of got to look at it like there is a principle there. So I'm not a huge James Harden guy, but I do think he might deserve a little bit of credibility in this situation. But anyways, I want to move on a little bit. I don't want to dwell too long on it. I do want to see how that shakes out. Naturally, the season just started, so we gotta over exaggerate. We gotta get the super duper early MVP predictions. So just right quick, before we jump into this top 5 under 25, I want to hear who you guys think could win MVP this year. Go ahead and start, Max.
Giannis.
Even with Dame on the team? That's taking a lot of stats away.
I think because Dame's there, he's going to get it again.
Okay.
I have them winning 65-ish games.
Easy.
I think.
Easy.
If everyone stays healthy.
Yeah.
Like injuries permitting. I just think with the way Giannis is hungry and the way last year went and his injury and he has Dame and now he wants to prove to everyone I was worth the 3-year deal I just got. I was worth them trading Drew Holiday away for Dame. I think he's going to go crazy. Also, the other guy who I love that can compete for it is lazy and doesn't even like basketball that much. And that's Jokic. He'd rather be playing with his horses, and that's fine.
I think voter fatigue is going to get the Jokic. I think once you get that 2, 3, it's like they don't. Hey, ask LeBron about it. You know what I mean? They get to the point where they don't want to give it to you or something. I don't know.
Thought Giannis should have won 3 straight. Instead, they gave his third to Jokic, and I thought last year Jokic
exactly. But that's exactly what I'm getting at. But I can respect that. I do personally think Giannis is the best player in the league, but I don't know if that would be my pick. But Lamont, let me hear from you. Who do you think is MVP this year?
The Duke fan in me wants to go Jason Tatum, bro.
Whew, he got a lot of stars on his team. That when I think of MVP, I think about stats, kind of, because that's just seems that's how it leans now.
So I would either go Jason Tatum or I would go Jokic or Giannis.
Okay.
I would go one of those 3.
I'm not letting you cop out though. You got to give me one name.
I'll go Giannis. I'll go Giannis.
Okay, we got 2 for Giannis. Okay, what's up, Cam?
But my dark horse is Jason Tatum, though.
Respect. Jason Tatum is definitely slept on. Let me hear something, Cam.
See, I can't. It's hard to give you one name because
my man like Wemby. I'm just joking. He like Wemby.
All things considered, like exactly what Max was saying, or what you were saying, like voter fatigue is gonna play. Like that's why I think Jokic won't win.
Yeah.
Embiid won't have. With the whole Harden situation. If Harden doesn't play the whole time, like they're not gonna have a good enough record for him to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
I think Giannis is got to be up there because it's kind of like the LeBron situation, right? You win a couple, then you know what I'm saying you go a couple years out and win it again. I think he's up there, but I think Tatum is definitely in the play. Like I've talked about this before, like amongst friends. I think the next wave is Tatum, Book, and Luka. But I think the Mavericks, like Luka, will never be like top 2 or 3 as long as the Mavericks are like finishing like in the middle of the West.
They got to win more games. Facts. They got to win more games.
It's going to be outside of Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. The next 2 is going to be Tatum or Book. I think Book.
Devin Booker is crazy. I'm not going to get down the rabbit hole, but Devin Booker is crazy.
Because they're both. I mean, KD defers, right? I mean, he can defer. He doesn't have to, but he chooses to defer when he's with other stars. We've seen it before. He has no issue with it. Mm-hmm. Tatum is as good as Brown is, Porzingis now, Drew Holiday now. Everyone knows Tatum's still a star.
For sure. They weren't so sure last year. I heard a lot of Jaylen Brown is just as good as talks. That was crazy, but
he was 35 last night.
Right. Right.
They're good enough. They're the best player on 2 of the best teams. Like, if it's not Giannis, it's going to be Tatum or Book.
My issue with Tatum, and it's one guy you guys haven't said, and it's only if he stays healthy, Porzingis, dude, he's gonna put up monster numbers this year. And
He had 30 last night. 30.
Yeah, he looked insane, man.
He was dunking. That's what was the threes. We already know what time it is with the threes, but he was catching lobs. He had 4 blocks. I was like, who is this guy?
He looked on the Wizards. Just no one watches the Wizards, which is fair. Like, they're a bad team. I watch the Wizards because I'm like, I have brain issues. But Porzingis is going to go crazy, and because of that, I do think
it takes stats.
He takes votes from Tatum.
Facts, and that's why I'll speak on my dark horse first before I give you. I think I might shock you guys a little with my pick because I'm not huge on this guy. My dark horse is Devin Booker, but I think people's sentimental attachment to Kevin Durant is what's going to keep Devin Booker from winning it. I hate to put it like this. Devin Booker is the best player on the Phoenix Suns. I don't know. Kevin Durant is almost 35, bro. It's okay. Let it go. Do you not see – bro, did you not see him in the playoffs? My man was scoring 40 on like 60% shooting. Like, Devin Booker is crazy now. And he's trying to guard the best player on the other team. So that's my dark horse. But I think Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, they're just not going to – you know what I mean? They're just not going to give it to him. Who I think's winning MVP this year, if he stays healthy, is Zion. I just think he's going to have all the highlight plays. He's going to average 27 points on – I just think I'm not a huge Zion guy. I'm not. But the stats are going to speak for themselves. The Pelicans are going to win 50 games, 55 games. If he's healthy, they were the number 1 seed last year until he got hurt. If he's healthy, they're going to win 55 games, Cam. They're going to win 55 games.
No, they're not winning. They're not winning enough games for him to be MVP.
Brandon Ingram, man, I don't know.
If they win 55 games in the West, they're top 3 for sure.
Question.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Question. What's the
Nuggets?
number?
Who else? That's guaranteed to have a better record than the Pelicans. Guaranteed. Other than the Nuggets. Suns, okay, but again, and that was my pick, but I think there's too many stars. Suns, who else? The Lakers are questionable. They go as AD goes at this point. The Warriors are questionable.
Kings?
I like the Kings, but you think De'Aaron Fox going to win MVP over Zion?
No, I don't think either.
Right.
MVP.
But I think
But that wasn't the question. The question was who do you think's gonna have a better record? I think the Kings have a better record than the Pelicans.
I don't think so. Not if Zion plays the whole season. I don't think so. But again, we can touch on that. We're gonna get into the top 5 players under 25. We'll touch on that. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead, Max.
No, all I was saying was I just think the Kings roster is more talented as a whole than the Pelicans roster.
I don't know if I agree with that. That it's close. I will admit it's very close. It is very close.
They have more depth.
I don't know. I like Alvarado. I think that.
I don't think stardom just because off the name of Zion Williamson alone in comparison to Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, and even Sabonis. But
Sabonis is tough. You got to look at it though. In my opinion, Brandon Ingram is better than everyone on the Kings. That's not De'Aaron Fox.
When he's healthy, maybe.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's had to stay healthy though.
They still got CJ McCollum. Like, let's not sleep on the Pelicans. They're solid.
They're top.
I'm not. I just don't think they're top 3.
Okay, that's fair.
And you just named 2 players who are also injured. My fault. Excuse me, 3.
Yeah, injury prone.
Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. Now,
we've seen Russell Westbrook win MVP as the 6th seed before.
But that he averaged a triple double.
It was the first time he did it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So with that being said, if Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson stay healthy, then maybe we can have a conversation. But going based off of like previous years,
that's probably not going to happen. I just feel like he has the chance to put up the most stats, and I feel like in now's NBA, people like stats.
And not to mention, correct me if I'm wrong, the Pelicans were 9th in the West last season as a playing team and lost to my boy.
You know who's going to put up numbers this year? I'm just curious how many wins they need to win to be eligible. My dark horse is Ant.
I like Ant. You're touching me. I like Ant.
That is my dark horse this year.
And on that note, I actually want to get on that note, and I'll let you start at 5, Max. On that note, we're going to do top 5. That's what we're here. Top 5 players under the age of 25. Start at 5. I'm gonna let everyone go around at 5, and then we're gonna move on to 4. Who's
My number 5?
number 5?
I'm being serious when I say this, even though I'm smiling. Jordan Poole.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew. I'm gonna let Lamont and Cam go before I get on your ass because I knew you were gonna say that.
My one actual Wizards bias aside argument for that is he was the second best player on a championship team.
Time out. Woo! Cam, Lamont, I'm gonna let you get in here, but I gotta address my boy. On what team was Jordan Poole the second best player? Please tell me what team that was on.
The playoff run.
I want y'all watching this man right here to my right. He doesn't even drink, and he's talking about Jordan Poole was the second best player on the Warriors. What? Huh?
Look at the stats.
Are we going?
Somebody please go before I lose it. Jordan Poole. So he was better than Andrew Wiggins in that playoff run.
Yes.
What? Lamont,
he even said it.
Lamont, who's top 5 under 25?
No, sir. Hold on. Let's address this now.
Please get him, bro. Get him.
We're going to be completely honest. Andrew Wiggins is part of the reason why Golden State won the championship.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you.
I never said Wiggins was not the reason. Those words never came out.
He played way better than Jordan Poole.
Wiggins had a bigger impact in them winning the championship than Jordan Poole did.
For sure.
Maybe from the defensive standpoint, not from the pure scoring, though.
But don't.
Wiggins was getting buckets too.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying his impact felt more defensively because he was locking everyone down on the Celtics. Everyone knows Jordan Poole can't guard. But
that's because Jordan Poole couldn't guard a statue. That's why.
I just felt like when I was watching that series, it just felt like specifically against Boston, whenever Poole put up a shot, it was going in.
Go ahead, Lamont.
That's true. But you remember the Dallas series?
I mean, everyone has a few bad games.
No.
I'm not worried
about Jordan Poole.
Wiggins didn't.
And if I can remember, I think was it in the finals? I think Andrew Wiggins had a 20 and 10 points rebounds game.
Andrew Wiggins had 2 20 and 10 games. He had one game where he had 16 rebounds, and Andrew Wiggins is only 6'7".
Hey, I'm just saying. And
he's just happy he played for the Wizards now. He's just happy Jordan Poole played for the Wizards now.
Dude. If you want to touch on that, the Wizards chose the year after the Wemby drafted tank. I hate this.
Wizards don't even know how to tank properly. But, hey, we going to get into it. Number 5, top 5 under 25. Go ahead, Lamont. Tell me something. Who's number 5?
I had LaMelo Ball.
Okay, at 5.
But my heart wanted me to go, and this may shock all of y'all, Cade Cunningham.
Boo. No. He's not even Paulo. And Paulo didn't make my list. Yeah, you heard me. Cade's not even Paulo.
On that list, though. I almost put Paulo on the list. I was like, I'm gonna give him one.
I like Cade, though. These young guys, you got to give them time. I like him.
He just plays for the Pistons. If he played for anybody else, we would be talking about him.
That's fair. Go ahead, Cam. Number 5, top 5 under 25.
It was tough. Number 5 was tough. LaMelo was definitely in consideration, but I'm going to give the edge to Tyrese Halliburton.
I like that one. Halliburton is nice. Actually got a dub over my boy Max's Wizards last night. What didn't they put up 140 on y'all last night?
It was 143. 143.
Oh my goodness.
Slides on the Wizards right now.
At 5, I'm gonna go Ja. Ja at 5. I think he's a good player. He's athletic. He's giving me D-Rose. He's giving D-Rose vibes. But the 4 players I have above him, I feel like at this point are already better than him. And going forward, the thing about athletic players is and you can use Russell Westbrook as an example, as their athleticism starts to wane, you start to notice the flaws in their games a lot more. And I feel like that is going to happen to Ja. We just don't see it now because he's still 23, 24, whatever. But I feel like his trajectory is only getting lower from here. So at 5, I'm going to put Ja. So let's circle back around. 4. Go ahead, Max.
At 4, I have Halliburton.
Okay. I like Halliburton. Jordan Poole shouldn't be on your list, but I'm going to let you live. I know how you
also, by the way, I I just looked up that playoff run stats. He was third on the team in points, or second on the team in points, and he averaged more points in less minutes than Wiggins, and shot 39% from three. So like,
really,
he was
in the finals specifically.
The entire playoff run, the entire 22 games, he shot 39% from three.
That
the only person who shot higher he shot 39.1, and Curry shot 39.7.
I believe that he averaged more points in the finals than Wiggins. Don't make me pull up my phone. I'll check you.
I'm looking at the 22 playoff games, the entire run. Not just the finals specifically, the entire
That's fair.
4 series.
I mean, a little skewed. He had a couple like hot ones where he dropped like 30 or something. So maybe. But I just still feel like Andrew Wiggins I'm going, I guess, on eye test here. It just looked like Andrew Wiggins had way more of an impact on them winning games.
No, that's fair. You guys just made me sound crazy. I was like, was he that bad? Then I had to look it up.
No. He wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't bad. I just feel like to say he was the second best player, immediately hearing it just felt insane. I don't know.
I mean, that's fair.
But okay.
But all right. Number 4, I have Tyrese Halliburton.
I like Halliburton.
Because he's my player. He's my breakout candidate of the year this year.
Breakout candidate. Okay, I like that. He might lead the league in assists this year. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Miles Turner, that pick and roll is kind of crazy. I know people don't watch the Pacers, but
Buddy Hield around him, and you got Mathurin. Like, he's gonna put up numbers
for sure. So what's up, Lamont? Number 4, top 5 under 25.
I got Zion, bro.
At 4?
I'm gonna tell you why. I need for him to be healthy. That's my only blemish. Now, hold on.
At 4?
Fix your face, though. Now, if he was consistently healthy, no doubt about it, he would be number 1.
This is completely off brand. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. How do you feel about Kawhi?
I'm not putting him in my top 10.
As a player?
When healthy, yes. But again, when has he consistently been healthy, though?
At least you're consistent. I can respect it. At least you're consistent. Don't worry, because Zion is on my list. Not at 4, but don't worry. I'm going to get back to you. Go ahead, Cam. Number 4.
I'm right there with mine. Like I said, in a vacuum, Zion could be 3 or 2.
Uh-huh.
The reason why I have him at 4 is the injuries. At just talent and sheer dominance alone, yes, he could be higher, but the injuries are a factor. That's why I dropped him down.
I gotta respect it. Especially you see what I got on. Lower Marion. You already know what I got on. So Kobe, I can respect it. Kobe played through a lot of injuries, so you already know that's how I feel. So I can respect the injury standpoint. But y'all are wild. Like, Zion is really that. He's really like unstoppable. At 4, and you might like this, Cam. At 4, I got Wemby. I know he hasn't played much. Yeah, I know. Why y'all looking at me crazy?
Because he played 1 game.
So you mean to tell me?
But I'm looking at it like the 2023-2024 season. When we get to All-Star break, who's going to be in the All-Star game? Tell me for certain Wemby's not going to be an All-Star his rookie year.
Can I tell you why he'll be in the All-Star game, though?
It's called
I think he will be. As a rookie in the West.
But you want to know why he'll be in the All-Star game?
Why?
You may or may not agree to it. Media hype, bro.
Okay.
Fan vote.
Come on.
Fan vote. Yeah, it matters. It does matter.
I'm about to say, and let's be honest, in an All-Star game, you want to see the most hyped players in the game.
That's a fact.
You want to see players like, you know what I'm saying, like your LeBrons, your KDs, or even Kobe during his time. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Just all the top guys. You don't want to see no player like
Jokic. Nah, but he gonna be an All-Star, obviously. But I get what you're saying.
You don't want to see Michael Conley in the
Mike Conley.
Come on, man. Like, stop it. You don't want to see, man. No. Stop.
No, you're right.
Stop it.
And I can respect that. I just feel like Wemby, I can see right now, like, he's got a little KD in him. I'm not calling him KD. But the game, like, to be that size and to be like, I'm going to ISO, dribble package, step back 3, like, it's only getting better. He's not going to get worse, is what I'm saying. Opening night to hit 3-4 threes, I don't know. I got him at 4. I think defensively he's already better than everyone else on this list. So I have to factor that in as well. I may be buying into the hype a little bit, respect, but I got Wemby at 4. So sliding in at number 3, we're going right back around. Number 3, Max, top 5 under 25.
I have Jaw.
Way too high.
I think people forget.
He's going to miss 25 games this year.
Okay, so because he's missing,
Is that okay?
but that's not an injury. That's a suspension. Just because he's suspended, I shouldn't still think he's better at his age than some of the younger guys.
So how many games is Zion going to miss this year from injury? 25? So that don't matter. But the fact that John's suspended for 25 don't matter.
But there's a difference.
Games.
Jaws never missed games. Like
35 is crazy, Lamont. But go ahead, Max.
Jaws doesn't get hurt. He shows up in the
Yeah.
regular season. He turns it on in the playoffs. But as of now, like Zion, his freshman year, some of the most fun I've ever had watching any type of basketball.
Facts.
But he can't stay healthy. And this isn't comparing his injury to a suspension. This is every single year of his career. He's missed 20 games minimum.
Fact. That's a fact.
So that's the only reason I don't have him on this list. If he was healthy, he's battling Ant for top 3.
Zion not even on the list feels blasphemous. Yeah, it feels absolutely blasphemous.
That's crazy.
But I do
I
respect
get
where
it,
you're coming from. I do respect it because I be on certain people. I pick and choose.
I will say I have Zion at 6.
Okay, I pick and choose. I have Desmond Bane at 6, just for reference. But
Also,
hey, Desmond Bane is nice, bro. What you talking about?
Cut the camera
now
off.
we going.
Cut the camera off.
Lonzo be good, and then he had these.
And then out of nowhere, I hit the switch on you.
Lonzo,
Hey, Desmond Bane had 30-something last night. What you mean?
Damn.
Lonzo, you brought me here be the shock value. You can chill.
I'm taking everyone's role.
That's why he said Manu wasn't a Hall of Famer, bro.
Oh, hey, don't make me get into Manu. Hey, check out my other video. Manu is not a Hall of Famer, bro.
Oh,
Manu's not a Hall of Famer.
Chill with the rabbit hole.
You right. Go ahead, Lamont. Number three.
This gonna break my heart a little bit. I got Ant at number 3.
Wait a minute, time out. I respect that the Ant is number 3, but you haven't said Ja's name yet. So you're getting a little high on this list, my boy. You're getting a little high on this. I know that's your guy. You're getting a little high on this list. You're getting a little high up here.
And I'm a huge Ant Edwards.
I love Ant's game.
Do. We seen him in the FIBA games over the summer.
Dog. That's actually my pick for breakout season this year. I think Ant is officially going to be like, Cat, pack your bags. This is my joint now. Like,
Jordan.
you better go somewhere else. This is my joint now.
And Jordan. But can I start off with number 2?
No, I'll let you start at number 2. I want to hear Cam's number 3.
Ja. There ain't really much to it. Ja's number 3.
Yeah, so I'm getting attacked and
Okay, I mean, hey. I'll go number 3. I got Ant at number 3. I think this is the year. Where we officially go, Ant is a superstar. Like ESPN, I saw ESPN's rankings. They had him above Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler. That's a little insane. Let's calm down. That's a little insane. Being better than
I already think he's a superstar.
I don't want to get too deep into it, but I really only think there's like 5 superstars. To me, superstar is an upper echelon above all-star. Like, I don't think there's a lot of superstars. So I don't want to get too deep into that, but I think he's a star. He's an all-star caliber player.
For sure.
Yeah. But go ahead, Lamont. I'll let you start at number 2. Go ahead. Don't do this.
I'm going to go Ja, bro.
Don't do this, bro. Why are you doing this? Number 2?
Look.
So Ja better than Zion. You gonna look at me with a straight face and say Ja better than Zion?
He's played more games.
So what that mean? He better than Zion. Ja's a better player than Zion.
I'm not saying he's better talent-wise, but then again, I'm also not going to say that Ja Morant did not live up to the hype either, and has
That's
also
facts.
played a vast majority of his games. And not to mention, He's putting on for the Memphis Grizzlies. Is he or is he not?
So what's going to happen if if Zion plays the first 25 games of the season? Because Ja's not going to play till what, December? so what we talk about here?
I also have a point.
By the way, I got Ja going for 25-30 in his first game back.
Okay.
Go. I mean, that's easy. I have a point I want to point out.
Mm-hmm.
Zion and Ja entered the league under different circumstances. Zion had insane hype because of that Duke run, and rightfully so. While Ja went number 2 overall, the hype was nowhere near. And Ja, in my opinion, has exceeded any expectations put on him. But Zion being under that Duke umbrella, being on that team, being the face of college basketball, it's kind of like the Wemby conversation. He has insane, unfair expectations.
But you hit the key word there, unfair expectations. At this point, we're holding injuries against him? Is it his fault he gets injured?
No, but I mean,
yes.
That is
Can't say yes. It's his fault he gets injured?
For him personally, yes. Did you not hear about his diet and how before he even entered the NBA, he was the 3rd heaviest player?
He's like 23. What were you eating when you were 23, Max? How was your diet when you were 23?
I was eating 2-3 Big Macs with you.
Right.
But it didn't affect me, and I'm not a star athlete.
It didn't affect me.
But the difference between us and Zion Williamson, he is a multi-millionaire.
That's a fact.
We don't have the luxury to have
That's a fact.
He
got a personal chef and all that.
My point exactly. He has the money to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Or
that's a fact.
At least hire
a personal
chef. We don't have that.
But they forced. My bad.
No, let him finish. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so with that being said, inexcusable. And he's down in New Orleans too. You mean to tell me
he eating good?
You mean to tell me he's not eating? You mean to tell me he's not eating good down?
Oh, he eating good in New Orleans. He eating good.
Come on.
Go ahead, Max. Go ahead. Get your point on.
Well, all I'm saying is even with the team had to step in and help him specifically with his diet.
Charles Barkley.
I mean, yeah, but Charles Barkley was saying healthy. His diet was not healthy.
Charles Barkley did that shit on purpose, though.
That's also a fact. I'm
just saying, his diet was not helping him stay on the court. You were saying the injuries wasn't his fault. I'm kind of felt like some of it was.
It did kind of feel like a little bit of it was his fault. I'll agree.
You remember, what was it? After the second year, his camp was we want him out of New Orleans, and all of a sudden he was eating worse. I don't think that was a coincidence.
I personally think he wants out of New Orleans. I can't speak on the culture there, but again, we saw it with Anthony Davis too, right? I think something about New Orleans, superstar caliber players don't want to be there. But
I don't know if
I think personally he wants out of there.
I think he did. I don't know about right now.
Okay, maybe because it's the beginning of the season. But go ahead, Cam, number 2.
And
2
star.
I ain't mad at that.
I'm not mad because I really like Ant, and I want to just get a little thing off for my young viewers because I know I got some young bulls that watch this, bro. Look up to Anthony Edwards, bro. John Morant is not your role model. I don't want to crucify John Morant because he's a young guy too. I understand. We was in college too. I understand the young age. Bro, John Morant is nobody's role model, bro. He's still figuring out life himself. For my young bulls watching this, Ant is your role model. If you want to look up, quote unquote, to an athlete, bro, Ant is the guy you want to look up to, bro. John Morant isn't Mikey Williams, John Morant isn't the guy you're looking up to. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Just go ahead.
I also got Ant at 2.
Ant at 2. I'm not mad because I really do like Ant. I really do. Like I said, breakout player for me.
Ant has my favorite NBA quote of all time. So, what's one thing you wish you could do? Or it was something along the lines where he brought up the fact that he can't beat the Wizards. And he's winless against the Wizards in his career. I just thought that was hilarious.
Being winless against the Wizards in your career, low-key drops him, in my opinion. But that's insane.
But the fact that he I forgot what the question was, but he brought it up. They're what's your one regret or something like that? Or what's one thing you can't do? Is beat the Wizards.
Disgusting. I bet he'll beat him this year. The best player is Jordan Poole now, so I'm sure he'll catch it up this year. But at number 2, I got Zion. Hey, for all y'all listening, I got y'all, bro. This slander is crazy. The slander out here is crazy. Zion's number 2. He's easily averaging 28 a game. And it's funny that I'm saying this because I was one of the people who were saying John Morant was better than Zion coming out of college. So it's actually kind of crazy I'm saying this. But, the dominance is undeniable. Like, when he's healthy, no one can stop him from getting to the rim. He's shooting 65, 70% from the field. He's going to score 28 points. The athleticism is undeniable. Like, you got to give him his credit at some point. Like, injuries are injuries, but
You see how you got to put a contingency on all that when he's healthy. There's a contingency.
hey, you're talking to the same guy who feels like Kawhi Leonard is the fourth best player in the NBA. So, thank you, Max. But the injuries, for me, I don't hold injuries against players. Though I will admit Zion's injuries kind of feel a little self-inflicted, but I don't hold them against players because you can't control it. You can't control it. You gotta look at them for the player they are.
I have a question. Do we all have the same guy at 1?
Yeah,
I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah,
Luka for sure. Yeah, definitely number 1. I think he won't win MVP.
Lamont say something stupid, bro.
Lamont, please don't do this. Please don't do this, Lamont.
Please
don't do this, Lamont. You my man, Lamont. Don't do this. Don't do this. You got him at 1?
I do.
Okay. I was like, don't do this, bro. Don't do this.
I have Luka. I have Luka also.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should all have Luka at 1. I'm surprised. I'm almost surprised he hasn't won an MVP yet. Like, it's like I'm waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Well, because you got to think about his best year of his career was like during the Giannis Jokic like three-peat, or is this like? I think it was like the year that Jokic won his first. That was like Luka's like best statistical year. Like, are you in that year? And Giannis also easy. Like, it's hard.
Couple fun facts about Luka. Luka averages the most points in NBA playoff history. 1. More than Michael Jordan, who is 2. Fun fact about Luka, again, this kind of goes to my Kawhi point. Kawhi was the one beating him in the playoffs every year, and the year he didn't lose, he lost to the Warriors, who won the championship that year. So it's kind of like he kind of just been missing his window, it feels like. It feels like he's right there.
And I just think this might be like one of the weakest teams he's been on since they've become a playoff team.
The Mavericks need like
they need depth.
They just need a big that can rim protect and rebound. They need like Anthony Davis. Maybe that's too far. They need like DeAndre Ayton. They just need someone who's just and I don't love DeAndre Ayton. No, I don't think he's great. But they don't need great. They need a big man that's gonna do that role.
It looks though like they need one of us out there, man.
Hey, Luka, swing that rock. I got the corner 3, boy.
Hey, look. I'm about to say I'm cool with shooting the ball 5. I don't care. As long as I put them Jones up, man. I don't care.
Put them up.
I do want to give a little shout out to one guy I didn't have on my list just because I think he's a stud, and that's Paulo.
I think Paulo's on his way. I think he's just a little behind this group we've listed, but I think he's on his way.
Played 1 year. I think he's going to be a monster. Good for Orlando.
Paulo looks like a grown man out there. He like 20, right? Paulo, yeah. He's giving me T-Mac vibes. What's
up with Oakland just landing these like insane centers, number 1 overall? Not Oakland, Orlando, sorry.
Hey. Whoa.
Shaq, Dwight, Paulo.
First of all, Paulo's not a center. Let's start there.
He could be power forward. Sorry.
He could be.
Both of them getting a big man. There we go. I'll put that word.
I do like that. So, Paulo better than Desmond Bain? No, I'm sorry. Leave me alone. I'm tripping.
Man,
I like Desmond Bain.
Stop, bro. Yo, we're not going down this rabbit hole, bro.
We're not going down this rabbit hole. And thank you guys for being on. We're going to end this soon, but I do want to do one quick game with you guys. We're going to do a start bench cut, all right? I'm going to give you 3 players. You're going to tell me who you would start, who you would bench, and who you're getting rid of, all right? 3 players. Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, and Hemi Butler. Start bench trade. I'm not even going to comment. I'm not giving my list. I want to hear from y'all.
I'm cutting Donovan Mitchell.
Woo!
I'm going to just get to it right now. Benching Jaylen Brown, starting Jimmy Butler.
Oh, my God. You're one of those. You're one of those, Lamont. You're one of those.
Hold on. So, if I can remember, the last time I was on your show, I was high on Jaylen Brown. Don't get me wrong.
You were?
You know what I'm saying? I'm still a Jaylen Brown fan. But don't get me wrong. Do I think he's doing what Jimmy Butler did in his particular situation? If you were to reverse roles, nope. I can't see it.
Jimmy Butler has a lot of nights he's not the best player on his own team. But
for sure. But don't get me wrong though. We're not going to act like his impact on that Miami Heat team wasn't.
Oh yeah, he gave Drew Holiday 50 a couple times. Go ahead, Max.
I got start Jimmy. Basically, I'm switching it. I'm benching Donovan Mitchell and I'm cutting Jaylen Brown.
Ooh, here we go.
I'm with mine. Get Don up out of there. Don's flop.
Hey, you have to give yours at this point because you clearly don't agree with us.
His flop factor is like way too high. Like Don's he'll have his game. He's like Jordan Poole. He's gonna have his games where he goes.
He's not. He doesn't have a ring.
And then he's gonna have those games where he shoots 3 for 22.
Yeah,
and just disappear.
Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs against the Knicks, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. For him to be the best player on that team, now granted, I think the Knicks had a deeper team than the Cavs, but also initially I thought Donovan Mitchell would have been the best player on the floor.
He should have been.
Jalen Brunson outplayed him.
He did.
Who I'm also very high on, by the way.
I like Jalen Brunson, but he shouldn't be outplaying Donovan Mitchell in a playoff series. He just shouldn't. Based on how we view the game, he shouldn't be.
But then again, if y'all can remember the Mavericks and Jazz series, I believe it was the same year the Mavericks went to the Western Conference Finals.
I know exactly the series you're talking about.
And Luka Doncic was out the first few games of that season. Jalen Brunson was putting up 40 plus, if I can remember.
He was.
And
Jalen Brunson's nice.
And I think they stole a game in Utah too. That's a tough crowd. And Utah was top
bunch of
3
rapists.
I lied. I am gonna give my list.
Yeah, you have
to. Y'all are gonna hate this joke. I know people watching like, hey, I'm cutting Jimmy, bro. Y'all love that little couple.
I'm going, bro.
Hey, yo, I'm cutting Jimmy, bro. I'm so sick of Jimmy Butler having 4 good playoff games and we just ignore the whole season. I'm not gonna get too deep in the rabbit hole. Jimmy Butler played for the Bulls, right? You remember that, right? We all grown. You remember that? Hold on. Let me get it off because I let y'all go. I didn't say nothing. Jimmy Butler played for the Bulls. He played for the Wolves. He played for the Sixers, and now he played for the Heat. And people like to be like 5 games in the Heat playoff run. They'd be like, "That's Jimmy Butler's whole career." People love to do that. I'm not gonna let y'all do it. I'm cutting Jimmy Butler. I'm benching Donovan Mitchell, and I'm starting Jaylen Brown. And I don't love Jaylen Brown. But defensively, he's way better than both of these guys. And offensively, he's inconsistent, but he's going to do what he does, man. Like Jaylen Brown could go for 30. He could go for 12. I feel that same way about Donovan Mitchell and Jimmy Butler. I feel that exact same way about both of them.
So can I say something about Jimmy Butler's time with the Bulls?
He was a baby. Go ahead.
Hold on. So you remember the year that D-Wade and Rondo?
I remember.
Was on that team?
Mm-hmm.
The year that Rondo was on that team, if I'm not mistaken, the Bulls were up 2-0 before Rondo got hurt.
That's like Jimmy Butler's seventh year in the league is what I'm getting at, Lamont. Like people skip half his career.
That was still in his early years of his career. That was early on. I'm about to say he was just coming into his own man, but still, you had 2 vets. You had D-Wade and Rondo.
What happened in Minnesota?
Hey.
What you mean? No. That was a culture thing.
It was.
We heard the story. You've seen Jeff Teague talk about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Jimmy Butler was the best player on that team.
Was he?
He was the best player.
Was he?
That's
he was
a young
the best
Carl
player.
Anthony.
I'm being said we are out of here. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show. Welcome back anytime. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Spurs go.
Go Spurs, go. Rookie of the year, Wemby? or Chet. Hey, we got to.
Thank you for watching another episode of The Last Word. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below so you're not missing out on any of the new content I drop on the channel. Love.